I find experiential learning approach as a powerful tool. Teachers can use experiential learning techniques by assigning projects that can solve real world problems, conduct hands on experiments, and encourage students for self reflection and self assessment.
Namaskar, greetings and gratitude. I welcome you all to another inspirational Star Talks. And this time it is episode number 133. And on the hot seat with me is Miss Pratishtha Gupta. How are you, ma'am?
Namaskar and greetings to you.
Thank you.
I am good.
Nice. Miss Pratishtha Gupta is a GNCT State Teacher Awardee 2022, an ISTM certified CBSE resource person and a teacher trainer, NCERT resource person, Amazon author, school innovation ambassador, a dedicated teacher, and environmentalist, and a lifelong learner. Wonderful, beautiful. I welcome you again, ma'am.
Thank you
Welcome.
so much for this welcome.
Thank you. So, ma'am, please tell me what inspired you to pursue a career in teaching science, and how has your 23-year journey across CBSE and ICSE schools shaped your approach?
Um, Ma'am, when I look back as a kid, when I look back and I think what I really wanted to become, I was a confused kid. But then I feel that I was very, very fond of my teachers and my school. And I have such good memories of my school and my teachers. So now when I look back to, I feel that probably because I got the best of teachers and I got drawn to this profession, this was the main motivating factor that I wanted to live their life and always be a student. And what a good, a better way of doing that, uh, being a teacher myself. And for science, if I say, I was always fascinated with the world around, especially biology, the colors of different flowers. I remember as a kid, I used to count the colors of bougainvillea, the life around, knowing about life, the systems, the anatomy, it all fascinated me. And both these uh, factors probably made me a science teacher and the person who I am today.
Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, ma'am. Ma'am, can you share the story behind receiving the GNCT State Teacher Award in 2022? And how did it influence your work as a teacher's trainer?
I feel, first of all, I should be grateful to God Almighty and my school principal, Dr. Sudha Acharya, who identified potential in me, and she was the one who motivated me to prepare for this award. And when I reached the stage over there and I saw the other awardees, the kind of work, the volley of work that people are doing. So that inspired me so much. And then I decided that I should give back to the society and to my students and to my fellow teachers. And it is a great responsibility being a recipient of such a great honor. And I'm still indebted to all my teachers throughout, my principal, and all my mentors in my journey.
So nice, ma'am. Congratulations once again to you. This is so nice. Ma'am, you have conducted over 80 offline and 150 online workshops. You have trained 1,000 plus educators. This is so wonderful. So, what's that one key pedagogical practice you have always emphasized upon?
I feel that for for teachers as well as students, for everyone, I feel it is very important to identify your strengths and weaknesses. For anyone, once we start identifying our strengths and start believing in ourselves and start working knowing your strengths and your superpowers, you become a better version of yourself. In various workshops that I take for everyone, I feel I say that understanding yourself, being self aware about yourself, and understanding your strengths is very, very important, especially for our young generation. Because when I see my own children, my students, they are so many times they are confused. We can be so many things, but when you note down, you understand your real passion and the strengths, the areas where you can really work, that makes all the difference.
Wonderful, wonderful. Rightly said. Self awareness is the key to success. Absolutely, absolutely. Right, ma'am. Ma'am, as an ISTM certified CBSE resource person and NCERT resource person, how do you adapt workshops for diverse audiences, from beginners to master trainers?
Yes, it is a great, I'll say, it is a great opportunity when you go with such educators of a great deal, starting from preschool teachers. And I have been a trainer for the workshops where I have seen principals and school leaders as my mentees, I will say. Over there, I say that the most important thing for an educator is to be a lifelong learner. Once an educator, once a teacher, is always a learner, and one should always be welcoming to the various changes, and every day one should keep on looking for new opportunities to learn new skills and upskilling yourself, upgrading yourselves always. And nowadays we have online and offline so many different courses available for teachers. Earlier it was not like that. We were just relying on libraries, but now we have so many good resources. So it is always good to keep on upskilling yourselves, trying to know new skills, new expanding your horizon.
Wonderful. When you said online, so much available, you have been contributing to Diksha and MOOC. Please tell us something about your contribution.
Yes, during COVID, I got the opportunity of creating some content online, Vidya Dan 1 and Vidya Dan 2. In that, we have created modules for students as well as teachers. For teachers in the form of MOOCs, and for students in the form of videos and question banks. For example, like for chemistry, I have
Okay.
contributed several videos for classes 9th and 10th, where the children can go there and can see the videos to understand. And there are several question banks which they can refer to for preparing. Similarly, for teachers, there are several resources that where we have contributed in MOOCs. Different types of teacher trainings on active learning. Then there are for mental health and well-being. So many different resources are available, and thanks to our government who has created these platforms, and it is helping us to contribute and to learn at the same time.
Absolutely right. Yes, it is said, no? To teach is to learn twice. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ma'am, as a school innovation ambassador, how do you encourage students to develop their own innovations?
As an innovation ambassador, this is an initiative by the Government of India, Niti Aayog, and Atal Innovation Mission. And we encourage the students towards finding out solutions for the real world problem. And by creating this problem solving attitude and developing this kind of a culture in school, what we do, we have some small exhibitions and some competitions where the children come up with their original ideas. Some are in the very native state, some they develop to the state of prototypes, and some they are actually creating working models also. And over there we encourage the students by providing them mentorship also. And we have got a program in our school of creating in-house startup products. So the students, they innovate and they create some products, and the school gives a platform to them where they can actually reach out to the audience to get the feedback, and they can actually sell those products in those skill bazaars. So this has created a kind of an environment in our school of design thinking, ideation, and creation of innovation products and different models. So our models are going for science exhibition. They are uh, reaching several platforms like Think Startup. We have received several awards for 2 consecutive years, and I was thankfully mentor for change and a school innovation leader. I was recognized over there. So this is a culture in our school where the students as well as teachers, they are into this design thinking and innovation building practices.
So beautiful, ma'am. Wonderful. That's so nice. Congratulations to your school and to you. Congratulations. Ma'am, how did you develop resource manuals on environmental education? What challenges did you face?
Ma'am, I was a part of this team of building the environmental sciences and conservation of resources manuals for teacher training. It was developed by Center of Excellence CBSE Delhi East, and there were four teachers who were involved. Two were actually school leaders and two teachers. And over there, the most important challenge, I'll say, we faced what not to include actually. There were so many. When we in the initial rounds of meetings, we used to discuss what all are the key areas which we want our students and our teachers to be aware of, and the teachers to take up those topics to the students, because the students are the real change makers. So we had so many different topics, but most important topics that are really close to my heart, which are the plastic waste management and making the children aware about the various types of plastics, and home composting, which is again very, it can be done so easily. And apart from that, the segregation of waste to start with, that is the most important thing we thought that should be included in those manuals, and we developed several activities in these areas.
Wonderful. Nice. Very nice, ma'am. So, ma'am, as an environmentalist, what's one impactful session you have conducted on conservation of resources? And how do you integrate it into your science curricula, ma'am?
Uh, in the year 2022, I got this opportunity for this DLF group of institutions, and they have their schools in Delhi NCR as well as in the southern part of the country as well. So for them, I did a series of workshops online as well as offline for environmental sciences and conservation of resources. And there my main focus was to integrate recycling of um, recycling of waste and recycling of the plastics, as well as the biodegradable and degradable, both non-biodegradable, both kinds of waste, how the students can do in the form of various activities within that can be aligned with the school curriculum. So that was an interesting thing to do, and I still get messages from students sometimes that they are still practicing those, and it was wonderful.
This is so nice. Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. Ma'am, as an Amazon author with articles in national and international journals, what advice do you have for teachers who want their work to be published?
I will tell you, ma'am, I was very naive, and I never planned these things. But when I started watching people during COVID that they are doing amazing work, then I started documenting my work, and those little I'll say those in little innovations that we do in our classes. So then I started with this action research in my classes, taking small topics like air pressure, how we can improve the student learning of air pressure, and for reproduction in plants, small little topics. And the interventions that I used to do, I used to document that. And then I used to try to look for the journals, whatever magazines initially, whatever was in my reach, and slowly I started. When I started learning myself, then I went on to publish these things into national and international journals. So my advice to everyone listening to this is not to be at all scared of what is going wrong. Whatever you are doing, if you're liking it passionately, you should please go on doing, and try to document things. Journaling, self journaling is a great idea of learning and improving yourself. And whatever, I feel, if you write it down, whatever you wish to do, half of it gets solved, and you get vision, you get a way how to move ahead. So it's always good to document. And nowadays there are so many apps, so many resources that can help us to learn and to polish those the content that we are doing. The research should be original, but you can always take help of presenting it in a more professional way, and try to publish it in your school magazines. In there are several state government, there is magazines also. There is this Nai Udan by the state government. That is also a
Okay.
good. And over once you start reading the articles over there, you learn more about
Hmm.
them. So one should always document. That is my advice, I'll say.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, ma'am, mentoring students for national competitions you have been. So, my last question to you: what's your proudest success story, ma'am?
I will say, when I joined this school, so before I came, the students were not participating much. They were doing it at their own private, their individual level. But when I came 13, 14 years back, then I started this culture of participating in the government run school, these competitions like NTSE, JSTSE, the Kishore Vegyanik Yojana, and several others, the regional science exhibition, the Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan. And every year, our children from the secondary school as well as senior secondary school, they apply for Inspire Manak Award every time we receive 2 or 3 students. So now in our school, there is a culture of students participating in these competitions, and they bring laurels to their school and making their parents and the teachers proud. I will share a small story of this student. I'll not reveal his name, and I still remember him with such pride. He got his JSTSC scholarship in class ninth, followed by NTSC in class 10th, and then followed by Kishore Vegyanik. in class 11th, and later on he went to IIT Delhi as well as Indian Institute of Science. And I will be always be his biggest cheerleader, that I could contribute in a small way in his journey. So that
That is
is,
so nice. Ah, so that proud moment is not only yours, his as well.
I'm
That the
sure.
teacher really remembers him so nicely. Wonderful, wonderful. So nice, ma'am, that you came to the Star Talks, and I'm sure there are many takeaways which the teachers will get from our talk. So many times I felt like writing whatever you were saying, journaling and everything. But yes, I can watch it again. What you have
Thank you
said.
so much. Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am. And I'm really honored to be a part of this show. And initially, I was a little nervous also, but it was a great experience talking to you. And
Thank you,
many
ma'am.
congratulations for running this series. And great work you are also doing. And
Thank
I
you.
wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine, and I am honored to have you on my show. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear audience, for being with us in this lovely conversation today. I will come back with another personality who has inspired so many lives. Thank you. Have a good day.